two, one. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangover Cure podcast. I am your host, Alex.
I'm Riley.
And I'm Sarah.
Yep, Sarah is back, and as you can see, Luna is not here
Luna
with
is
us. So to be very blunt and truthfully, guys, Sarah and Luna have beef with each other.
Oh,
They hate each other.
I thought we were supposed to air that out.
So that is the reason why they don't they still want to do the podcast, but they don't want to be doing it together. So now we're just taking turns.
Yeah.
Having them on the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, basically that. No, we don't have beef. We just have different schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah's here and Luna's in Japan.
Luna's in Japan, which if you have been following along in the episodes, she's been talking about that quite a lot. But yeah. By the time this episode comes out, she just arrived there.
Yeah, like maybe 12 hours ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think she's there for like 2 weeks, so there'll probably be 1 or 2 episodes coming out without her, and then she should be back afterwards, and then we'll hear all about her stories.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
We lost our talker. We don't know how to talk without her.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's more this gives us more opportunities here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
What is our
All right.
topic for today?
All right. So today's topic, I think. Oh yeah, I'm the host. So I think a good fun one here. Another one for us to kind of share stories and kind of get to know us a little bit more. While also again having fun with it. I want to kind of go in sort of our biggest what ifs. So to kind of
Okay.
go into it again. Well, let me give the little backstory. So I've been watching the show called This Is Us on Netflix.
Mm.
It's a really good show. Highly recommend. And then there's and to not spoil it, basically it's just about three siblings, three triplets that go on with their lives. And then it's like that type of show where it kind of goes back, like it goes back and forth from the past to the present to kind of show you visualize like the story or like the lessons they learn and how that pertains to the present, whatever. Anyways, there was one episode where a significant event happened, and then one of the characters had to go through therapy, and then the whole point was like, what would happen if the like that significant event happened the other way, or like a different decision or something was made, and then that episode basically just showed that scenario of like what life
Mhm.
would be with that.
Okay.
So for us, I kind of want us to kind of reminiscent back into our
Oh,
past a little bit.
there's that key word,
Yeah.
reminisce.
Yeah, kind of think about again, another impactful event or scenario or decision you made or you didn't make, that obviously played a huge role in your life, and kind of talk about what was the outcome of that, what it led to, and then talk about sort of, okay, well, what would have happened had I done the other decision, or maybe I didn't do something, but I should have done it, and then what could have been the future, or I guess what life would have been now.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I could go first since I've already thought about it. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys have anything.
Go first.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can kind of listen while also thinking about.
I already got mine.
Yeah, but I can go first since it's my topic. But I think for me, I think one of the big ones was have I ever told you guys the story of how me and Nick met?
Yes.
The dorms? No,
Wasn't it an
no,
event?
you.
It was an event. It was the campus foam party.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So to give a little backstory on that, so it was like the second week of classes freshman year. I was during that week, during the whole moving and then whole college, like my first month of college, I was basically hanging out with my high school friends. And yeah, we were just hanging out, just playing video games and whatever, exploring campus, whatever, doing whatever. But I wanted to sort of, I wanted to get more of like already more of my like college experience or whatever. So then I got an email from the GA of Asian American Affairs, basically saying like, "Hey, there's this. Hey, Alex, there's this picnic, sort of welcome back week. Yeah, like picnic sort of thing for
Mm.
Asian American Affairs. You should you should like come out and just meet a bunch of other like Asian American students and whatever."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is cool. Let me go like just see what's there and like meet other Asian people." Because for me, I grew up in a predominantly like white city, white high school. There was still a handful of other Asians and other people of color that I've befriended with, but like again, it was majority white. So I was like, wow, this is the opportunity where I can feel like the majority or meet more like Asian people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went, and then that's when I got to like meet a bunch of like people for the first time. And then I'm gonna blurt these names out, but like that's where I
Mm.
met that's where I met Nick,
Mhm.
and then that's where I met I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, I don't
Uh-huh.
think you met her, no.
Yeah.
But I guess technically that was the first time I met Nick, but we only like introduced each other's, and then that's it.
Mhm.
And then later that night, I think there was a foam party at the CSU's like loading dock or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that. I was there too.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, just
Oh.
for a bit though.
Yeah, I was only there for a bit. I only went with one of my high school buddies.
Mhm.
We just check it out, and then yeah, we just looking, and then just maybe like from like maybe like about like 15 feet from like my right here,
Mhm.
I saw Nick with, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh shoot, it's that dude like I met at the picnic earlier
Yeah.
today. So yeah, and then I don't know, I like at that moment I was like thinking, should I like go say hi to him again? Should I
Mhm.
like reintroduce myself and like befriended him?
Yeah.
And like at that point in my life, I was like hella shy and introvert. So like I don't do things like that. But I don't know. I just decided to do it. So I literally just built up the courage, walk up to him. I was like, "Hey, you're Nick, right?
Mhm.
It's me, Alex from like the picnic and whatever." We like talk and like he's like, "Oh yeah, I remembered you and whatever." And then we were like, "Yeah, we should like, maybe like get lunch at the dining hall sometime or whatever." And then we got each other's Snapchats. And
Mm.
then obviously from that moment that led to like obviously getting lunch together, hanging out each other,
Mhm.
going to each other's dorms, be friends, and everything in history that we now know. So I guess to kind of go back in the topic again, going back to that moment where I said like I was like at that moment I had to make the decision, like should I like walk up to him and like you know reintroduce myself, because
Yeah.
every time like me and Nick we talk about that story of how we first met like occasionally, and he always says like his first impression of me is that he thought I was like hella weird for
Oh.
the way I approached him, because like because he's like, yeah, bro, like this guy that I just like barely met at the picnic
Damn.
just walks up to me and just wants to like get lunch and get like my Snapchat. Like I thought you were really weird, bro.
I thought it was normal, no?
Yeah. But then yeah. But again, just again going back to the topic, yeah, it's if I had just kind of stuck with my I guess my usual habit of like maybe I just acknowledged him but I didn't walk up to him, who knows how different like life today could have been, like
Mhm.
would I have still, because again that was the moment I got his Snapchat, that was my like form of communication with them. So if I didn't do that, I might have not I might have not ate lunch with them, I might not have been close enough for him to invite me to his dorm, and then we
Mhm.
might not hang out. Obviously, that would led to maybe us not being that close, and we might have not been roommates sophomore year. Like
Mhm.
maybe we still might have seen each other, but who knows what our relationship obviously could have would have went rather than what we know now.
I feel
Yeah.
like you guys still would have been friends. Maybe
Mhm.
not nearly as close, but you guys definitely would have been friends because the way the MCC works and like, what's that? Is it the MCC?
Yeah.
MCC, yeah.
Yeah, the room. You get
Yeah.
like, we all just converge there.
Mhm.
So I feel like you guys would have had more opportunities to see each other, maybe meet more naturally than, hi, you remember me?
hmm
From the picnic.
well, I thought about that too, but then I'm thinking like Well, I wasn't actually like those first couple months, even when I did started coming out to like the MCC,
Mhm.
I still wasn't really like invited to like the parties or whatever off campus, whatever.
Mhm.
Even
Oh,
though
I
I still
see.
show up to like, like the meetings for the student organizations, like I still wouldn't like show up for like the parties at night. It
Mhm.
wasn't until like um I guess Nick was sort of my what's the
Your
word?
ticket.
Yeah, my ticket to getting in
Mhm.
because Nick was already kind of getting close with them and like people already kind of know Nick
Mhm.
because obviously about like the freshman rep whatever.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Nick, so I think
Yep.
Nick got that reputation. So obviously when was hanging out with him and getting close with him, I was like his plus one. So if we weren't obviously as close like we were had I not approached him, then I don't think I would have been in those situations to even get more closer.
I can see that. I feel like you were also a way for Nick to explore not having just Hmong friends, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
Besides
Mhm.
Alexis, how did Alexis get in? Like,
Oh yeah, and that's another thing too because they were Nick's dorm and Alexis' dorm. They're in their halls were kind of
Oh, yeah,
close
yeah,
to each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, that's another like maybe possible like relationship I would have never like had I not seen Nick. Then I probably never would have met Alexis.
Mhm.
And then obviously there's you, and then obviously the chain of dominoes
Yeah.
yeah,
falling.
Yeah. Because I met Alexis because of, and I didn't even know Alexis at that time. She's like, "Oh, you want to come to my friend's birthday party? It's like surprise birthday party." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I don't know them though, but sure, I'll come." Hmm.
you met Alexis through a surprise birthday,
Yeah, through
surprise birthday
her
party.
surprise birthday party, and
What
I'm
the
like,
hell?
"Okay, I'll." Oh no, my phone fell. And then I was like, "Okay, like sure." Because I wanted to meet friends too, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I
So,
remember that. I was there too.
yeah, you picked me up.
I did.
Yeah, you did with friend.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
told you to
Pick
pick
you
me
up?
up.
Weren't you guys? Wait,
Oh.
was one of you guys off the campus?
Well, the surprise was off campus. Well, it's technically the dorm, but this was like off
It was
campus. What's this called?
Jacob Heights, I think.
No, the one behind Summit.
Isn't that not Jacob?
Stadium
Oh,
Heights.
Stadium Heights.
Stadium Heights, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dorms?
Yeah, those are dorms.
The heck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a white lady in a dress there, just walking at night. Freaked me the fuck out.
Is it an actual lady?
I don't know.
Oh, spooky.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
But yeah, yours.
hold on. I just.
Oh, we're still gonna talk about me? About me? Okay. Yeah, we can.
Do you think maybe you would have gotten closer with somebody else had you not gotten close with Nick?
Yeah.
Possibly. That's the thing too. Obviously, that because again, I still would have probably be in the MCC. There's obviously a
Yeah.
bunch of other
Yeah,
people
you
there
would have
too.
been involved with somebody eventually.
I
I
would have.
feel.
I would have still.
Mhm.
Obviously, I would still be part of the group and the community.
Mhm.
But I think who I would have gone close with, who I would might have been like more friends with, would have been different, and that obviously might have led to who I could have like moved in with my sophomore year.
Dude, Sarah's stomach is going crazy right now.
I know. I need to eat Wingstop.
Sorry. Damn.
Sorry, guys. I hope you guys can hear it.
I didn't hear it. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah,
Just like good.
but yeah, but again, yeah,
Mhm.
just repeating. Yeah, I think I don't know.
Do you think you would still like be kind of as close or meet the same friends that you have right now if things played out differently?
I think obviously eventually because that was freshman year. Obviously these what the next 4 years would have been.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure all you guys would still obviously be there, be part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think how our relationship now and how close and how I know of you now would not obviously be the same had what that other other timeline would be.
Mm-hmm.
Other timeline.
Yeah,
Nick was your canon event.
Yeah.
it is honestly.
Okay, well, my what if would relate to yours in the aspect of Mankato.
Mm.
Actually, no, I'll put it a month before that. when I met you and chose to go to Chicago with you
Oh
guys.
yeah.
That was my canon event, my what if event. Because if I didn't go to Chicago with Sarah, my cousins, and our other friend, they would have never convinced me to go to Mankato and completely change the course of my life. Because obviously through Mankato, I made all these friends who I never thought I would make any friends outside of Rochester. Yeah, I never thought I would make any friends outside of Rochester, and I mean, I guess I would have through other means, but um, yeah. Say I were to stay in Rochester, I would have worked an overnight shift at Target, like the job that I have currently, but I would have done it a lot sooner. I feel like going to Mankato was low key a mistake for the financial aspect of my life and
Mm.
like a forward progression of my life in a societal way, but it was the best choice I could have made in like a lifestyle sort of way because it led to me meeting everyone I know and having all these relationships.
Okay, I heard it that time.
Sorry, guys.
So I I would not have gone to college, I don't think. Because back then I knew I wanted to do psychology, but I knew I wasn't really that adept in it. So I would have like second guessed it. But the reason that I'm going to the college course that I'm in right now is because of someone I met at overnight shift at Target, and he has been working there since around the time I would have gone to work there too. So the same dude probably would have told me about that program as well. Because me and him, we were pretty good at work, but maybe I would have grown a resentment towards him the way other people have because he wasn't the best worker to them. So I don't know. I just hear stories, but I think I would have still gone down the school path that I'm on, but not have these friends unless Alexis like invited me out to Mankato sometimes to party with you guys, which I think she would have done. But yeah, I think that's my what if.
So you're saying had you never gone to Chicago, then you would have never obviously had a thought about Mankato unless Alexis would have like invited you.
Yeah, I would
Hmm.
not go except for parties.
Well, wasn't
Okay.
didn't that happen like regardless? Because wasn't that the first time that then Alexis invited you to a
Yeah,
party?
but I was already like in main
Oh,
Mankato by that point, so she know I needed to get out. But say I wasn't in Mankato, she wouldn't like feel the need to invite me over.
mm.
Mm. Weren't you wait, weren't you originally planning kind of to go to Mankato?
I was heavily thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that it wasn't the best financial choice because I knew that psychology was not the best option. But because I had psychology in my mind and because you guys convinced me, I was like, shit, let's go.
Mm. Yeah, I see. Because I thought that you were already set going to Mankato, but I think like last time you were saying we were debating on like psychology or like film or something.
Yeah.
And I was a film major. So I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, another film, but you didn't end up taking
Yeah.
that route.
Thank God. I'm kidding.
Ah,
Hey,
okay.
I just got with this new lens,
Mm-hmm.
it's really good at taking video.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not the best camera for it, but I feel like if you want to direct something, I also bought
No.
some lenses too, or lens covers, filters.
Oh yeah.
They look so pretty. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I also would have gone further with my photography though.
Yeah.
I stopped due to a lot of like depression that I went through, but I think uh, some of the depression I went through, I would not have gone through at all if I didn't go to Mankato. Like genuinely.
Oops.
So you're basically saying that we caused your depression.
No, I'm saying like a lot of stuff that happened over there really impacted my mind. Maybe it would have happened in Rochester too if I stayed. I could have just had trips up to the cities and gone through those what's it called, canon events. But I think I chose the correct path that I would have wanted. Maybe not the one my parents would have wanted,
Mm,
but yeah, I think I chose right in this what if.
Nice.
I see. See. Yeah. Okay. I think my Ooh, my sorry guys. My what if it's kind of similar to you guys in the aspect of like Mankato. So for me, I graduated in 2018, like high school, but I went to college in 2019, and so I took a gap year, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Um, the only reason why I took a gap year, honestly, is because I missed the deadline to what? To apply to school. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, let's wait another semester. Let's come during the springtime." But then my aunt who lived in Minnesota, she was saying like, "Oh, don't go during the springtime because this winter is really bad and we don't want you to freeze." So I was like, "Okay, sounds good. Let me just wait another semester." So, yeah, I had to wait 1 year. And I was just thinking if I didn't miss the deadline, things would also have turned differently. I would have probably met a different group of friends and maybe not even meet you guys because um the reason how did we meet? Is it because of
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I met him is because he was friends with one of my international friends. And if I did meet my international friend, then like I would have met them. And like, you know the gist. But anyways, the reason why I came to the US is because I think I kind of like shared the story in this podcast too. Is I have two aunts who live in the US, one in Minnesota and one in Florida. And I was debating on different schools. I don't know, somehow I really wanted to go to school in Florida, but I think the options weren't as great for film at least. Um well, actually, film is kind of hard to find good schools, I feel. But I feel like there's better opportunities in Minnesota, so I decided to be in Minnesota too. And the only reason why I went to Mankato is because those both aunts were
Alumni's.
alumni, okay, alumni from Mankato, so they recommended me this place. And have I not known about that, or like if I don't know. I think it's just a whole bunch of different reasons, but the main point is basically like theirs. If I have gotten earlier, if I've chosen a different school, um I wouldn't have met the people I've met I've met. I don't know what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like my life would be different too because or like I would be different too because I feel like um the people that I'm surrounding myself with plays an important role to like how shaping myself and how I am and how I view the world and basically everything. So yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you going to Florida would have been interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been because yeah, I feel like you would be wild in if you went to Florida.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
Do you remember what schools in Florida you were looking at?
I don't remember, but I did get accepted. Oh yeah, I did get accepted to Mankato and that school in Florida. I forgot what it is, but I ended up going to Mankato instead. Have I accepted gone there instead? Things would have been
Do you think your
different.
aunt in Florida was like, damn, she didn't come here?
No. I mean, I feel like she's childless for not childless, child free for a reason. Um I feel like there's a difference in that. I just want to yeah, because I don't know. She's just she's not married. She doesn't have kids. So I feel like I would have been just a burden to her, like someone to look after
I mean,
for.
has your aunt here even like seen you that much to take care of you?
Well, fun fact, my aunt and her husband moved to Florida, like 4 hours away from my other aunt. But um when they were still living here, like yeah, they would invite me for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or like other times whenever I'm I have break from school. So I just hang out with them and my cousins, and it's fun, and I get to learn more about the American culture, like Thanksgiving.
Now she has to rely on us for the American culture.
Yeah, I'm still learning. Yeah, but there's a lot that I don't know about, especially the sayings too.
It's okay, you're not missing much.
Like,
You're
what
not-
is it? Eat, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
What?
Okay,
You
maybe
can't
that's
have your cake and eat it.
okay. Maybe that's just a white people saying. Never mind. I don't know. Never mind. Please disregard. Anyways,
You know, like hold your horses, right?
yeah, that I know. That I know.
What's another one?
A checkered past.
What is that?
It's like, I think it's when you have a lot of stuff in your past, like a lot of
Oh.
baggage, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Or
Okay.
something like that.
I think one of
I don't know.
Oh, there's a new one that I've learned recently too.
New one.
You're preaching
Preaching
to the choir. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just saying your hopes out loud. Right?
No, you're talking to someone who's an expert of
I don't
you're preaching to the
Yeah.
choir. At least that's what I've been told. I don't know.
I thought preaching to the choir was like, oh, you're talking to God right now. Like you're asking him, not asking him, like telling him, like, yo, I need this, help me.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it meant like
Damn, we had 3 different interpretations.
I thought it was like you're like saying facts, and then that's why you're like preaching to the choir because you're saying facts for even like the choir to like.
All right, someone fact checked
That,
that.
okay, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below.
That's another good one for Sarah.
I thought I know more, but
I swear, like
There's a lot of sayings that I've been learning a lot recently. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think too. No.
there's only one that comes to my mind, and it's just not PG-13.
Oh.
So
Okay.
don't bite the hand that feeds you. Yeah,
Yeah.
the other version
Oh,
of that.
no.
Oh, I don't. There's a. Huh?
You never heard the other version?
No.
Don't bite the hand that fingers you.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Sure. That works too. Does it have the same meaning?
Kind of. Because like it's like don't be mean to your boyfriend,
Oh.
and then don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't be mean to the person providing for you.
Oh, I guess so. Oh.
Oh, there's one I actually just experienced recently because
Mhm.
I work in corporate, and I work in a corporate office, so there's floors and we got to take elevators.
Oh yeah.
So one time I entered the elevator and it was already pretty packed, but there was still enough space for me to fit in. So I went in, and then as soon as I press my floor button and the door closes, this dude, this that was in the elevator, he was like, "Oh man, it's a party in here."
Oh.
Yeah. Now we've treaded on territory.
And no, what's crazy about that? No, and I don't know if this has anything to do with like my phone or algorithm or anything, but I swear to God, later that night when I got home and I was going through TikTok,
Mhm.
and then I somehow got one that was like white people sayings, and then I didn't know that when people say like it's a party and here's like an actual saying.
Yeah.
It's crowded.
Another one I get
Yeah.
at work is, "Are you having fun yet?" As I'm just doing my job.
Oh.
Like, what do you mean am I having fun?
Yeah. That's not nice.
Oh, are they are you working hard or hardly working?
Oh.
Yeah,
I kind of like that one. That one sounds fun.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a play on words.
Do you guys have another second what if story? Because I have a second one.
You can go ahead.
I have another one, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
I'll go again. So this one I'm gonna go even a little. I mean, I guess a little further back in my life. So my what if was that I actually switched middle schools. Like
Mm.
I actually made that decision on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, really? Your parents just didn't let you to move, or you just wanted to move middle
no,
schools?
yeah,
What the heck?
yeah. So yep. So the story on that one is I don't know how how your guys' elementary school or childhood school districts work, but for me, elementary school was kindergarten to 5th grade, and then middle school was 6th grade to 8th grade, and then high school.
Yep.
Yep.
You?
No. Middle school is grade 9. No, grade 7 to 9. And then high school 10 to 12. And elementary is just 1 to 6.
Mm,
Okay.
okay. Yeah. So for me, my 5th grade was my last year at elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
So how in my district there's only 2 middle schools. Um, there's and it's funny because they're actually like right across from each other, like literally
Oh.
right across from each other. There's like just a neighborhood street separating it, which is funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's Twin Oaks, which was actually the former high school, and then it's obviously a lot more older. And then there's Hidden Oaks, which is the newer one.
Mm-hmm.
And then how we found out which middle school we were going to is we got like our envelopes in the mail, basically saying like, yeah, hi, welcome, you will be enrolled in this middle school
Yep.
or whatever.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I have a question. The
Yeah.
government?
No, just the school
Yeah,
district.
the district will send you a letter.
Yeah, that just basically tells you which middle school you'll be attending for next year.
Okay.
Yep. So I got the envelope saying I was gonna go to Twin Oaks, the older one, the former high school one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, I remembered this. The next day in school, what my teacher usually liked to do was that they would have like obviously like that giant sheet of paper, and then they'll have some kind of question or activity for us to do in the morning, just to just a little fun activity like, what's your favorite color? Who do you think is
Like
gonna
an
win the Super
icebreaker.
Bowl? Like icebreaker, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
this one was I was like, put your name down, which middle school you're going to. So then obviously they divided like in Twin Oaks, Hidden Oaks, and then I was seeing the names of like who was going to Twin Oaks. I was seeing all the names who was going to Hidden Oaks, and I realized that um I don't know how I realized as a child. I was like, oh my god, all my like friends are like the people I like more in my class are going to Hidden Oaks, and I'm like the only one going to Twin Oaks. I was like, I don't I don't know how I was already thinking too far in like the future, but I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have fun in middle school if I don't, if I'm not
Yeah.
with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally like once I got home after that day, I told my mom like, Mom, I want to go to Hidden Oaks. Like I have to, like, I don't know. I want, my friends are there. Like I already know I'm not gonna have fun. And then my mom, she doesn't really like know anything or how the American school system works. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, what can we do? What can we do? Whatever. I was trying to figure out what to do. Turns out it was actually a lot easier process. I just had to contact the principal of Hidden Oaks, the school I wanted to go to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of tell them, have a meeting with them and tell them why I want to go, whatever.
Did you do that or did your mom do
I
that?
did that. Yeah.
Mm.
As a sixth grader is crazy.
Yeah. That's kind of, what it is when you're a first generation
Yeah.
person doing all the works for your parents. But yeah. So basically, yeah, I scheduled and had a meeting with the principal of the middle school I wanted to go to. And then basically I had to like write a letter also saying my reasonings for why I want to go to this middle school. And then I basically officially transferred. And that again, I felt like in that decision right there, I kind of purposely altered like history
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't decide to go to the middle school that I guess you could say life chose me to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had like no reasoning for like, I mean, not saying I didn't have reason. I did have my reasoning, but like I didn't have like a real like purposeful meaning to
Yeah.
like changing. I just did on my just sheer like desire, I guess you could say. Um, but no, obviously that would obviously if had I stayed the middle school I want to go to, that obviously would change basically my entire life.
Yeah.
Who I would
Yeah.
have like been friends with in middle school, how I would have thought, how my personality would be, obviously middle school, puberty, like how my everything would change, how I would think,
Mm-hmm.
and then who knows, obviously how high school would have obviously been, and then well college would have been, would I even gone to Mankato again, and then yeah, that's basically my second what if story.
So
It's crazy.
do you think you would have made any friends in the second one? Like, did you like have any like say like one or two friends that were in your current middle school at the time?
I did, no, but well, I guess not really funny, but the thing
I
is,
abandoned them.
well, no, not that. It was that was so like as a child, I was very like a troublemaking, sort of loud, just kind of
Hard
wild,
to imagine.
wild. Like, yeah, no, like if you would like just ask my mom like any childhood stories of me, she'll give you all the crazy stories I did and the headaches I gave my parents as a kid. And then I don't know what happened, but I guess once I actually got to middle school, that's when I actually became so like shy and timid. Maybe just because now a whole bunch of group of like new students are there and you have to
Mhm.
like befriend. And I guess also middle school was also where obviously the cliques are starting to form now.
Mm.
So I used to be friends with like, sometimes with like the athletes, but now they're only hanging out with just their respective sports now. And
Mm.
then it felt where like they don't even remember like our friendship or like what we did in elementary school. So then that's like, man, like I guess that kind of forced me to put a show on myself because like I don't want to like make a fool out of myself in a way, or try to like talk to someone that I'm not supposed to, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Mhm.
So so again, I don't know if had maybe I still would have been that shy, timid person in the middle school I would have, or yeah, I was supposed to go to,
Mhm.
but still, I still like, I still had moments where I was still like opened myself up and like befriended people, obviously. So,
Yeah.
but again, that still would have been a whole different group of people.
Mm.
Watch like the middle school you abandoned was like where all the Asian people went.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember. No, it was kind of split. Um, yeah. Um, I think I still would have no, I still would have been friends with the same Asian people,
Mm.
but obviously I would have been maybe a little bit closer to the ones that went to that middle school as opposed to
Mhm.
the ones that. But in high school, I still sort of, obviously
Yeah.
still upheld that relationship with
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you tell the principal? Your reasoning?
I kind of just
I
told
hate it here.
I just said that like, all my friends in my grade or like in my class are going
Mhm.
here. I felt like, I would have been more comfortable if I still like was still able to see them obviously every day,
Mhm.
and things like that. What else did I say? I don't remember. I think that was just sort of the base of it. I was just like, you know, they're like it's just my friends were there, and I don't feel comfortable like, I might be alone if I got in this middle
Mhm.
school. And then, I guess he just kind of went with it. Like, I don't want this child to already feel like he's
Oh,
alone. Maybe, I don't know.
that's so sweet of him.
Yeah,
Mm.
but yeah, man, I changed history.
Your history, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So the way you gave the prompt earlier, you were talking about the episode, and the dude got into like what happened to the dude?
Do y'all care if I spoil?
I,
I'm not gonna watch it,
yeah.
but
Okay.
um,
All right. I don't know. Skip whatever this timeline, whatever it be. Uh, basically, their dad died in the house fire, and then they're basically saying like, "Oh, I could have went in there, saved him, or I could have yelled at him to come out
oh,
sooner."
I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that was them, and then basically, obviously, they show the life of what if their dad was still alive, and
Okay.
obviously, yeah.
I feel like that's a good segue into my topic since it's not inherently a what if your own choice. This is a what if, a natural choice that happened. Like, what if my best friend never died in a car crash? Or one of my best friends, I should say. I feel like that that right there is one of the biggest like things that what's the word? Contributed to my like depression in college and a big reason that made me drop out. So say I was still in Mankato and he never went through that or he never was in that accident. I think I could have powered through and kept going with it. I think I'm not obviously not gonna put it all on that, but I think a lot of my life probably just would have been a bit better. Not a bit, a lot better if he was still here. I think like and like Rochester as a whole, we all got closer, a lot closer after his death. And this is, I guess, a negative way to look at it. I don't think we would have been as close had he not died. Like a lot of people, they joined together as a group, as a collective to remember him. And like his little cousin is in my friend group now because of that accident. And we're with him every day, not every day. We're with him at every party that we go to because of that. We bring him around as his mini him, you know? So I think this is like a genuine canon event, you know? Like he I don't want to say he needed to die, but him dying was kind of essential for the growth of a lot of us. But had he not, I wouldn't have minded that either.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry to bring that
Yeah.
down. I just
No,
that's just like a big what if in my life.
yeah. No, in a weird way, death does kind of help like the people still alive kind of grow stronger,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
Because yeah, not to like kind of take your spotlight away, but
No,
I
no, no.
also I also had like a similar experience. I had an old friend, obviously from high school, that passed away a couple years ago, and then they had the funeral service and everything, and then that's when I saw again like a whole bunch of people from my high school that I haven't seen since the last day of senior year,
Mm.
and I was able to obviously catch up with them, you know, kind of see like, yo, it's been like 3 years, you know, how you been, what school you go to, whatever, and then we like talk, and then yeah, next thing I know, I started like getting like notifications like, oh, this person follows you on Instagram, you know,
Oh
you're getting
yeah.
like new
Mm.
followers, and now you're now in contact again with like the
Mhm.
people I haven't like spoken to, maybe I've never even spoken to in high school, or I might had like a brief moment with them, and somehow just, you know, now we're kind of close and well acquainted just because we reunited on one of our mutual friends'
Yeah.
funeral. Yeah.
Honestly, in another aspect, like kind of a fucked up one, I always think about like because their final day before they went on their road trip, they were in Mankato for my birthday. I
Mhm.
always think like, what if I never went to Mankato? Had that extra day that they spent led them down a different path. Just a little fucked up thought, but you know,
Yeah, everything leads,
yeah,
you know, every
always a
decision leads
butterfly
to
effect
something.
somewhere.
It's a butterfly effect, you know. Because again, I mean, the point of doing this discussion is like we think back about those what ifs, but obviously had the other decision made, who knows what
Yeah,
here in the present is still like here in the present, or like what's not here, you know. Like I was gonna give an example. I'm not gonna give an example.
Well,
I wasn't gonna say it. Um, but yeah, yeah. You have anything else, or not? Is it Sarah?
that's it.
Okay.
okay. Okay, so my what if is a bit different than what they both talked about. Um so fun fact, I play the violin. Um I learned how to play the violin when I was like 6, but the only reason why I started playing the violin is okay, so when I was 4, I took piano lessons like any I don't know, I feel like I'm very Asian child, you know.
She is.
Um so I learned how to play the piano when I was like 4, and then in that same institute, they were offering violin classes, but originally it wasn't supposed to be me who learned how to play the violin. It was supposed to be my dad. Um and he bought this DVD of like a concert of Vanessa May. She's a violinist. Not sure where she's from. I don't know if she's Singaporean or if the show that the in the DVD was in Singapore. But then I just fell in love with the violin, and I think my dad also bought a violin too, but hasn't started his lessons, and I just took a big interest because of watching Vanessa May, and I asked my dad if I could learn how to play the violin too, aside from the piano. And he said yes. But I think like now that I'm getting older, I took his spot. He was supposed to learn how to play the violin, but he didn't. and I did instead. And I played the violin up until before I came here because I didn't bring my violin when I came to the US. Um
So if I gave you a violin right now, could you play it?
well, not right now with my nails, but if I have shorter nails, I have a violin now because my dad brought my electric violin last year when I met him. But if I have shorter nails than this one, then yeah, I can play the violin right now. Um yeah, and I feel like the violin has been a really integral like part of my life because at one point like I wanted to be a violinist, and I think to like high school, and I was like, I don't want to play the violin my whole entire life. So I went to film. So butterfly effect. That led me to coming to Mankato, choosing film and this and that. But anyways, um yeah, and I don't know, like like growing up, violin like was kind of like my thing, if that makes any sense. None of my friends played the violin. It was just me. I've kind of like inspired some of my friends to learn how to play the violin. I taught some of my friends how to play the violin. Um,
Wait, so if you were you say like you're the violin girl, does that mean all your friends want to play piano?
or guitar, or the bass, or the
Um,
drums. So yeah, my
you
friends.
just are not Asians.
But my friends back home, like they either play sports or they play music, and a lot of them just play music instead. But then also like I was a church girl. So we would just like play in the band and like stuff like that for service and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, and I also like played the violin for some weddings, like in church or like
Dang.
my violin teacher. I've jumped here and there with several violin teachers, and like one of the instructors, like her husband teaches the drum, and she was like kind of like collecting several like of her students, like her violin students, to like perform at the wedding that she's hired to. And then we got money, so it was good. Money and experience, it was very good. But yeah, I was just thinking like, what if I wasn't as interested in the violin and never asked my dad to take his spot, if that makes any sense, because he didn't learn how to play the violin because I took his spot. And I was just wondering if, I don't know, things would have been different because I feel like violin was a really big part of my life until I came here. So I don't know, things would have been different. I would have probably be a different person too. Maybe I'd be good at another um instrument instead, or maybe I would have been really good at piano instead. I
Comes
don't
over here,
know.
let's let her play the banjo.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Do you think, say you were still super interested in the violin and just like piano and stuff like that, you would have gone to a musical school instead?
yeah. Yeah, because some of my friends like they play cello. Like one of my best friends growing up, like, she played the cello, and we were talking about like going to like Juilliard and stuff like that, and um just going to school for music.
But it still would have been in the US.
Oh, yes, because I've always wanted to go to the US
Okay.
for college. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't want to be a violinist anymore. Um, I think it's too late now.
You could have been rich, probably.
Probably. If I make it through, you know?
Damn, me, I guess.
Can you still? Can you still? Oh, excuse you.
Bless you, you.
Bless you.
Kidding.
Damn.
Do you think you could still like play the violin today and still be, good, decent?
Yeah, I'll still be a little rusty. I'll also as long as the violin is being tuned right, I think I'll be okay. Muscle memory, I think I have muscle memory.
Okay.
I can play like the simple, easy songs, but like the classical songs, I think I might
Give me some
need.
Mozart right now.
Oh, I don't know. But my favorite one is the Eine kleine Nachtmusik. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun.
yeah.
Oh
Dun.
yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite one to play in the violin.
Do
Yeah,
you think you still play the piano?
piano's never really my favorite. I just play it because it's the most basic one, I feel.
Well, there's one right there. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like. I read like music sheets. I don't know A B C D E F G. I feel like I should know, but I wasn't as focused because I was focusing on violin.
Yeah, I wish I learned an instrument as a child, and then I can obviously be very fluent and prominent in it now. Because yeah, I bought that keyboard like 3 years ago, and I hardly touch it now, and I really have no drive or motivation to be really good at it right now. I still obviously still play it occasionally, and still try to keep like the muscle memories of like the basic songs I do know how to play, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't really challenge myself or like try to advance my piano skills.
What about that guitar over there?
That's my brother's.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. See, like my brother, because he's still pretty young and he's part of band, so he got into instruments early. Like
Mm.
everything's like easy for him. Like he has a guitar, he plays flute.
Mm.
He plays the violin too.
Okay, slay.
Yeah. And then
damn, he got all the good G's.
yeah, bro. Yeah.
Hey, it's either sports or music.
It
He's
was.
definitely sports.
I was the sports and he was the music.
I got
Yeah.
no siblings, and I got neither of those.
That's a skill issue.
Yeah.
That's a you problem.
But yeah,
not mine.
don't you think you would maybe like had you stuck with like violin or been a music person, you think you might have been like that sort of like musical TikToker sort of.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably because I was also thinking about it. Okay, kind of. Because I learned the violin, I also kind of learned how to play the bass because it's also like 4 string GDAE, but it's just flip EADG. It's
Huh?
oh, the chords is GDAE for violin, but then it's EADG for
Oh,
the
okay.
bass. But it's like 4 strings, the same chords, and yeah, and then during like COVID times, I was getting a lot of like those bass
Mm.
videos, and I was really really debating on getting a bass and a speaker. But then I was like, I live in a
I got
tiny
neighbors.
apartment. Yeah, I do have neighbors, and this is a college town, you know? So I didn't do that, but I wish I did.
It's not too
Kinda
late.
low key.
It's never
Yeah,
too late.
honestly, maybe.
Change your content. Go to music.
I know that would be fun. That would be fun
Yeah,
if I
just
have the time to.
I mean, all it takes is one viral video and boom, you're
I
famous.
know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be famous though. I'm scared.
You don't got to be like super famous, just
Yeah.
enough to make some money.
Enough to have
Okay.
like your own fan base, keep it like
They'll buy your merch.
indie, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I don't like attention. I'm scared.
As we're recording for
I
this
know. I
podcast.
know. Because this is like
It's a whole
after.
different, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is like
yeah.
we're not talking to anybody. We're talking to
Yeah.
each other, and it's just
Mhm.
recording.
Yeah. I don't know.
Have you seen those podcasts where they do like live podcast shows?
Yeah.
Like they actually have an audience, but
Isn't
they
that
still
what's it called?
keep it like a podcast.
Is that? I know who you're talking about. I don't.
Like
There's a bunch of other people do it.
streaming wise or like in front of
It's like
people?
it's like yeah. It's like yeah,
Like stand up but
sort of.
sit down.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
it's basically like people do like a panel show, but still like a podcast sort of, structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I think there's one in Minnesota, like soon. Like there's an event going on, but I don't know. I just saw an ad. I was like, okay, I don't know how this works. That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know, I was thinking, yeah, I don't know if I'll be the same or I'll be more nervous had there been like an actual live audience.
Yeah.
If there was an audience in front of us, I would freak the
What?
fuck out.
Yeah.
I would have to drink right before that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you're kind of like a entertainer or like a comedian at that point too, because you kind of have to have like a punchline or something to get like an
Like
audience.
you need to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're that entertaining that live.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, we'll check back on that question a year from now. But yeah, awesome. I don't have any more stories. I was gonna do a third one.
I don't got any more either.
I
Yeah.
don't have any either.
Yeah, and kinda go back on the show, so how the guy, when he described, obviously, with his, like, dad still alive,
Mhm.
obviously, he's still gonna marry the same wife, still have, like, the same kids, and still have, like,
Mhm.
the same lovey-dovey, like, family relationship. How with if his dad were still alive and, obviously, that's, like, the bright, the bright look of it,
Mhm.
you want that to see, but sometimes when we think, yeah, had I had this particular event like had been different, maybe that event would have been obviously good and well, but who knows what negativity or like what something else could have been bad that could have affected, um your life that would be in like this current
Yeah,
stage. So
there's always something.
there's always something.
Mhm.
So kind of get to the point of this, obviously, in life there's a lot of decisions, a lot of things that could have gone either way, but sometimes you just gotta make that decision, go with it. If it becomes a positive or negative outcome, you deal with it, and you just hopefully when you go, when you live on and then you kind of reflect back on it, hopefully you don't have like any regrets to it.
Yeah, I can say I don't have any.
Yeah.
No regrets?
No regards.
Oh,
Or yeah,
okay.
Or
Mhm.
is it rag? Whatever.
Regrets? Is it?
regrets, right?
No, the
Well,
tattoo?
yeah.
Are you
Oh,
talking about the tattoo?
oh.
Okay,
I
okay.
thought I thought it was like, did I say
You
the
actually
word
thought. Well, do you guys think you have any regrets of your what ifs, your choices? I guess. I mean, I do have my regrets, but
Mhm.
I don't like say I wouldn't go back on it. I regret
Mm,
it happened the way it did, but I don't want to go. I wouldn't go back on it.
yeah.
I have one regret in life, and I do wish I went back on it, but we can save that for
Yeah.
another topic. That'd be fun to talk about. But majority, no, I don't. I'm pretty satisfied with the decisions I make in life, and
Yep.
even if they're not good decisions, I still, you still got to take responsibility for them, and then you just move on. You move on.
What was that?
I lost my voice.
You move on.
You move on. Sorry. Yeah.
Scary.
Uh,
Never seen anyone like get their breath taken away like that. Like
I
they're like a voice crack, sure.
water break.
That's so funny. This scared me. It really scare me.
Okay, well, I think with that we can call this episode a wraps.
Mhm.
Anything final?
No.
No, yeah. Hopefully y'all can comment on maybe some what if stories you guys had in your life. Those will be fun to possibly read. And again, yeah, just live life to the fullest with no regrets.
Alex
uh,
regrets the. All
yeah,
right, later, guys.
yeah.